So, just in conclusion, just to wrap up everything, I think this is me wrapping up the whole like topic of suffering with Christ, or for Christ. The general idea, or the general thing, is that we are heirs, we are adopted heirs through Christ, um, dying on the cross. He is the bridge that connects us to God. And then the glory of God being with us, that's like, accepting Christ in our hearts and all of these things. And then the suffering comes, like spiritual warfare. But that's just more of the general thing. But the thought that came to my head when I was just trying to verbally make sense of everything is, sometimes we do need to go through the suffering in order to realize the glory of God that is within us. And I think that's the case for us as humans. The glory of God has always been present since time began, right? But it's until we are born as sinners. We come into the world born as sinners because of the sins of Adam and Eve. Which is why sometimes it may feel like I'm going through this and I have no help. No. Jesus knew that we were going to go through this. Therefore, he did what he had to do, die on the cross, so that we understand and we have the power and we have the Lord's glory with us. Once we realize, okay, this is suffering, or this, just like my mom said, suffering doesn't necessarily have to mean physical harm. It could be mental abuse. It could be emotional drainage. Suffering looks different. But the thing about it is, or what's important is knowing that even though we've acknowledged and we recognize the suffering, or whatever season that you're going, whatever suffering that you're going through, we acknowledge that, okay, yes, I'm going through this. However, I'm able to conquer this because I have the glory of the Lord. I have God's presence is within me. So therefore, I don't need to fear. So yeah, what I've learned is suffering doesn't necessarily have to look like physical harm. It could be through various things. That's spiritual warfare. But understanding that I carry the Lord, I have the Lord's glory, and the presence of God is with me. And because of that, I am able to fight against these spiritual things, and just continue to have faith in God. And adding to that, like, the suffering is not compared to the glory that shall be revealed. God's presence, the presence that we experience now, is nothing compared to the presence of God that we're going to experience later on. That is such a hope, like a motivating thing. Like, it gives me hope, so yeah, praise God.